So, the entire story. A narcissist is an extremely manipulative person, and if you're watching this, you're about to hear my story of extreme manipulation. Basically, I reported a church. Older church leaders are malignant narcissists, and all of them are extremely antisocial, and they're basically the gatekeepers of greatness. You have to do what they want you to, or they punish you. That's what happens. Everything's disciplinary with a narcissist. So essentially, after this loser, Danielle McGinnis, got me to sign a perjury by poisoning me with heavy metals till I was retarded. A deal was cooked up with Anal Eating Mummy God because he lied, and that humiliated him. To get me to sign the perjury to begin with. I was extremely retarded on heavy metals, and he basically told me if I signed the paper, they'd give me $4,000 to go get chelation therapy. I signed the paper. I took the $4,000, and he lied. And then the president of the church got really mad because Blondie lied to get me to sign the paper. Don't ask me, these people are retarded. They don't make any sense. They can beat, rape, waterboard, torture you, shoot you in the head, murder your wife, murder your friends. All good things, but apparently they're not allowed to lie about certain things. And I'm going to say they're not allowed to lie about certain things because these people lie an awful lot for people who aren't supposed to lie. They lie like all the time. It's like their favorite pastime is lying to people. You feel like one of those cartoon characters where they're like, where everybody tells the truth, kind of, but not really. Because nobody in this church tells the truth. They lie about everything. Anyways, so what happened? Danielle McGinnis and this other loser I call Uncle Ruckus. I know the guy's real name. Basically, after the deal was done with Anal Eating Mummy God, and the deal was straightforward, I'd come to Florida, I would purchase EDTA, and this was all manipulation, and then I would chelate myself and give myself psychological help. Both extremely stupid ideas because that's not how chelation therapy works. There's a reason it's called therapy, and it's not because you just pop EDTA and then you're cured. Well, Blondie and Uncle Ruckus didn't like the idea of me becoming a hero. They didn't like the idea of me fixing everything because they considered me self-righteous. They considered me, they explained to me I had nice guy syndrome, and this is a malignant narcissist thing. They spin narratives and then do everything in their power to make you fit that narrative. And you're about to understand how Danielle McGinnis got me to fit his narrative in totality. And he's going to lie about this entire thing. Yeah. So, what he did is they poisoned me with mercury. Because when you take EDTA, it redistributes mercury to the brain, causes psychopathy. It also fuses your hatred and fear together. Causing inaction, causing psychopathy and inaction. So each time I chelated myself, I was destroying my courage. That's the ACC part of the brain. There's a lot of science to this, but it's all real, by the way. And he wasn't done there, because when I was going to racetrack after work one night and I was getting frozen yogurt, Danielle came in and said he accused me of having ADHD. He is the first person, by the way, to accuse me of having ADHD. And then he explained to me, because I have ADHD, I don't get over things like girls, like Mary Bowberry. In fact, ADHD people just fall into a depression when anything goes wrong, and then they just stay in that depression perpetually. And then he explained to me, this guy, who was me, is basically going to watch everything go to shit, and instead of getting angry and wanting to take action because somebody did something to him, and what he meant by that is he put mercury in my body, he's just going to get more and more depressed each time something bad happens, and it's going to cause inaction because he's depressed. And even better is he's going to be so far removed from himself on heavy metals, he won't even be able to tell he's depressed. He won't be able to get because this is what happens with heavy metals. It removes your introspective, it removes an ability of your psychology. The more heavy metals you have, the more disassociative, the more mentally unwell, the more mentally unhinged, the more reactionary you become because your body is under a constant assault by heavy metals. And then Blondie spun an entire narrative about me being a nice guy syndrome, claiming that I wanted nice things because I did good things, and I was like, I think most people do. But if you're talking about, like, I was like, this guy, like, what did he do? And Blondie was like, oh, he reported a massive human trafficking ring, and he refused to let me kill him. And I told him, I was like, I don't think that's nice guy syndrome. And then he said, it is nice guy syndrome. And I'm going to take everything from him. And he thinks he's smarter than everybody, and he thinks he's better than everybody. And dude, the narcissists project everything onto you. I have always described myself as some guy from a trailer park. It's not a joke. I often refer to myself as the special ed kid because I was a special ed kid. Okay. The whole idea that he believed that he was projecting I was smarter and superior and all of his neurotic fucking mental disorders onto me. And this was a thing that went on and on at Papa John's with this guy. Okay. And racetrack. He kept fucking harassing me. I didn't understand exactly what I do now know what's going on. Because each time I chelated myself, I made a video about wanting to kill him. I made a video about wanting to hurt people, because that's what mercury does to the brain when you put it in the brain using EDTA. The entire fucking thing was rigged. This entire event was rigged. And Anal Eating Mummy God was explaining to me the importance of integrity, and it doesn't matter if you get killed as long as integrity. These people, this is the fact and truth about this church. These people are obsessed with killing good people. That is the end game. And the entire ruse down here from, like, what they did is they hijacked, because I'm under contract with them, they hijacked my internet. They put a bunch of fascist Friedrich Nietzsche videos down, because the issue they had with me is I don't have their superior psychology, the manipulator, lying, tricking, everything I don't value. And the way integrity works is when you are in alignment with your values. That is what integrity is. It is to be aligned with your values. I do not value any of these people's skills at all. And that is a fact. And everything Blondie did with the Carl Jung videos, develop the facade, do this. Of course, I ended up in an extremely mentally stupid fucking state because, one, I was still retarded on heavy metals. But this is the thing. These people poison you with heavy metals to take advantage of you. And they set everything up. And they set you up for failure. That's the other side, because there was no way in hell any of this shit was ever going to get done. And it was all set up. Blondie knew I was never going to recover. He knew that I was just going to be depressed. And he knew that by giving me mercury, he was going to make me psychopathic. And it was going to go into my head and turn me into that thing. And then he was like, and then the entire fucking thing, this entire event was a fucking setup. Okay? There isn't a part of this event that's not a fucking setup. Alright? I'm just going to be clear on that. The chelating myself and fucking give yourself psychological help using our videos that we made through Fistition to program you with our Friedrich Nietzsche doublespeak nihilism retardation, because if you're gonna be a leader, this is the only way to lead. This is it. There is no other way. You have to become exactly like us. A garbage human being. And there was this whole thing where he was like, well, what if you manipulate people and they do good? What if you manipulate? You're still disingenuous, and it makes people not trust you, and it makes them not like you. And at the end of the day, that is what it does. And this is the thing. I was doing these meditations on trusting my intuition. Fun fact, when your brain is full of fear, because when mercury gets into your brain, because of EDTA, it causes you to exist in a constant state of fear. And I even did a video where I said I'm tired of being terrified all the fucking time. I'm tired of being terrified all the fucking time. That's the mercury in my brain that did that. That was part of the setup. That was part of the setup. And we're not done, because I believe even the chelation guy I might be going to visit, maybe not, might also be a part of this shit. And he might also fucking lie about me having mercury in my system. But I know it's mercury, because I have all the fucking symptoms. All of them. Not one is missing. And this entire fucking thing, what did it do? It made me psychopathic. It made me fucking crazy. And then it made me look like I just wanted to kill Blondie because I'm crazy and I wanted Mary Bowberry, and I blame him for everything that happened. One, everything that happened is his fault. That is a fact. He should have fucked off when I told him to fuck off, and then he persisted. Okay? And in their brains, this persistence is a good thing. What Blondie did is amazing. But also, it was the wrong thing, and this is what happens when you don't listen. Which is a value these people don't have. They don't even listen to my videos. In fact, they just listen to their church leader, who's going to tell them not to watch this video. Because when they go, oh, you did that, he's going to go, I didn't do that. I don't know what he's talking about. These people, I remember this from being president, have a complete fucking booklet on how to fuck people over using heavy metals. They have a complete fucking booklet on. It's not a mystery. Okay, in the book, in the church, they're like, this guy refused to do what the church wanted him to, and then one day he just turned to the glory of God, and he did what God wanted him to, which is the leader of this church, by the way. And then he surrendered, and it was a miracle. It wasn't a miracle. You poisoned him with heavy metals and raped him and waterboarded him until he did what you wanted. It is the opposite of a miracle. It is a lie. A lie projected by an asshole who spins narratives that aren't true. But in this case, Blondie's narrative looks super true. I do have psychopathy from what he did, okay? My reactions were all designed by what he did, okay? This is a fact. This is what these people did. And the whole thing was, I turned him psychopathic using mercury, and now I'm the victim in it. Yeah. It annoys me to no end that all I was trying down here to do was get a healthier brain by chelating myself, was become a better person, fix my back and neck, because part of my scoliosis and my atlas being out has to do with fucking heavy metal poisoning. And these people couldn't let me even have that. They had to set me up for failure again, but this time it was with mercury. And it kills me to no end that Anal Eating Mummy God, the president of this church himself, said, Bobby, you're making it up when you say that other people interfere and that's why you can't have greatness. Because other people aren't interfering. What the fuck do you call? Bobby, all you gotta do is chelate yourself with EDTA. It doesn't destroy your teeth. It does. And, once you do that, you can become healthy and then call in a bomb threat, punch an officer, go to court, turn yourself in, and everything will be good for you. Where did the mercury come in there, Mr. President? And once again, this is that stupid shit where the president was like, I can't actually control what, the church leaders do. So even if Blondie is lying, there isn't going to be anybody to hold him to account. He's just going to go, yeah, somehow mercury got in there. I don't know how that happened, man. I didn't do that. It's not like I'm a malignant narcissist that's highly trained in all these things. And this is all news to me. I didn't know. I didn't know. I didn't know. And once again, a bullet is the only response for such a person. But it does bring up the real question in all this shit, because there was this whole point where I told Blondie to call my sister and ask my sister if she believed I was brave enough to do whatever it is he wanted me to do. My sister told him no, he's not brave enough to do it. My sister has always doubted me because here's the truth. She's always said that I never stood up for myself. I have punched that woman in the face before. I have kicked and screamed, and we've gotten into multiple fist fights when I was a kid, and I beat the shit out of that woman, and she said it was never good enough because I didn't stand up for myself. I've gotten to a fight with my sister to the point that to the point of I nearly beat her to death. Okay, one time when we were kids. I was like fucking 10 or 11 at the time. And this sounds bad, but you do not know my sister and what she does. And she always told me my entire fucking life I didn't stand up for myself. Even that time I beat her. Okay? Cuz there's a psychological unit to this. My sister doesn't view me acting out violently against her as a way of standing up as a legitimate form of standing up for myself. And I legitimately believe that even the people in this church, they're like, he's not standing up for himself. And then when I shoot and kill one of them, oh no. This is the problem with these people. It doesn't make any sense. My sister's real fucking problem with me is when I was a kid, these stupid fuckers with big noses and stupid fucking hats adopted me because they thought I was a Christian kid, and they were gonna kill and eat me because they kill and eat Christian children. You can call me a liar about this, I don't care. I wasn't a Christian, and as a little stupid kid, the guy made me give him a bunch of names, and I gave him the name of a kid my sister went to school with, and he was a Christian, and they abducted his ass and killed and ate him. This actually fucking happened. You can call me a liar, and my sister has never forgiven me since that fucking day. She has always wanted to harass, she's always had a bitterness toward me and a hatred toward me because I sent one of her friends to the grinder when I was a 2-year-old and I didn't fucking know any better. I was a literal fucking baby. I was a literal 2-year-old and I didn't know any better. The only thing I knew is these people wanted to take me away from my home and my life and my friends, and I was so fucking scared that I just listed off names of people I knew. And they ended up taking my sister's friend, killing and eating him. And then later using LSD and heavy metal bullshit, because apparently the magic in churches is just all heavy metals and fucking drugs. The feeling of God is just drugs. They use some bullshit to fuck up her mind, and they use some bullshit to fuck up my mind. The difference is I took EDTA, and I would have gotten completely better had another fucking asshole had put mercury in my fucking body, which was later redistributed to my brain. I'm kind of on edge right now because in order to get proper fucking whatever, man, I'm not wasting my time with it. I'm not taking anything to suppress my psychotic rages right now. That's all you need to know. Yeah. So, Blondie's plan in a nutshell. Take advantage of Bobby for having ADHD. Make sure he doesn't recover. Make sure all the bad shit happens. Make sure he stays inactive. Make sure that you string him along with his inability to let go of things. I.e. Mary Bowberry. Control him through that. And also poison him with mercury to make him psychopathic. And then watch him make all the videos about wanting to kill me and then play the victim in that, even though he was the one that poisoned me with the mercury to make me fucking psychopathic to begin with. I'm under and over it. Okay? Because I do value one thing. Justice. And this came up with Anal Eating Mummy God, and I think it's the reason he thought I'd be a good leader, because I had a fixation on true fucking justice. But when you put mercury in somebody's head, justice becomes an amalgamation of revenge and fucking aggression. That's what happens. My psychology has been altered so many fucking times I couldn't even tell you who I am anymore. But I really don't honestly, I just don't care anymore also.